Mr. Understeiner? Is that the correct pronunciation?
It is, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so we had a conversation last year about some of the issues of anti-Semitism in the medical profession, where you're a key organisation. So have you now landed on a definition of anti-Semitism?
No, we haven't, Senator Bragg, and I'm happy to give a little bit more context there as well about what we're doing.
Well, can you please explain what your definition is then?
Sure. So, I mean, first of all, again, just to provide context, I think it's helpful. From the outset, we play a broad role in the health system, and so not only do we take, people know us for the enforcement activity that we take, but we really start at the education phase. So we play a really critical role in cultural safety and elimination of racism all the way from the education phase at universities. But I think we've explained before, we have codes of conduct for all practitioners. All practitioners are expected to be familiar with those codes of conduct, and they're held to those codes of conduct. Within the codes of conduct, we have very clear language around our expectations, including discrimination as well. And I'll give you an example. The Code of Conduct for Nurses says, to ensure safe and respectful practice, nurses must adopt practices that respect diversity, avoid bias, discrimination and racism, and challenge belief based on assumptions. That is then supported by further material, guidance material, and some of that guidance material includes very specific examples about what would be seen as inconsistent with those code of conducts, and we've got examples that relate to anti-Semitism as well that we use and is published on our website.
I understand that, but I mean, it's quite a specific question. I'm wondering why you haven't decided to adopt a clear definition of anti-Semitism. I mean, we've just had a religious massacre in Australia where anti-Semitism was a key driver. And so I'm wondering why you haven't adopted one. I think it's a reasonable question.
No, I understand, and I understand that this is a live discussion at the moment, Senator Bragg, and I respect the question as well. You know, at this stage, what we see in the system is that the vast majority of practitioners do the right thing and they comply with our codes of conduct. But in the very few cases where they don't, we do believe that we've got the tools to be able to deal with that effectively, and we've proven that. And in fact, in recent times, we've made a number of referrals because of issues of both Islamophobia and anti-Semitism in the system. We believe those tools are effective.
Okay, I think are you going to adopt one?
Right this minute, we are undertaking a significant amount of work to better understand the experience that people are having in the health system, and part of that we are considering whether or not we would adopt a definition. And so I'm not saying that we have, but we're not ruling it out.
Okay, because even the government has adopted one based on the special envoy's recommendations.
Understood. Yeah, and I understand.
So surely even the Labor government have adopted one.
Yeah.
Surely APRA would consider doing the same.
I listened to the Special Envoy speak at Estimates last night, and one of the things that I was quite interested in, and by the way, I should note, I've been meeting with the Special Envoy on a regular basis. I think we've been able to work quite well together. And I understand that they have an intention to release further support material to talk about how this might look like in practice and adopting in certain organisations. We're really keen to see what that guidance looks like, and we're keen to work with the Special Envoy to understand what that could mean for us.
Well, we'll see where you get to on that,
sure.
But I mean,
of course.
It's not a highly convincing answer at this point. So what about the training materials? What sort of training materials do you have within the APRA organisation for anti-Semitism?
Yeah, sure. So we have undertaken a range of... Actually, let me just... Again, I might step back for a moment to give context here. So we have... And I think we've shared this with you before, Senator Bragg, but I think it's important just to note again. I mean, there's no place for racism or discrimination in the health sector. It's an essential service, and everybody should feel safe to go and get the care that they need. And likewise, practitioners should feel safe practising in that system as well. And
of course.
And as a CEO, I take that very seriously.
Of course. Everyone would agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're on the same page there. We've seen in our system 225 notifications that relate to either Islamophobia or anti-Semitism in our system, and that relates to 112 practitioners. About half of those relate to Islamophobia, about half of those relate to anti-Semitism. We have taken action against 13 of those practitioners now, and 3 with the most significant consequences of referral to a tribunal, which can the consequences can range anything from a loss of registration through to other sanctions as well.
Okay, so sorry, just how many anti-Semitism complaints do you have right now? 113 or something?
In total, since October 2013, so in total, we received 225 notifications, with about half of those being about anti-Semitism.
Okay, and how many are before the tribunal at the moment?
We have 3 before the tribunal.
And they're in relation to anti-Semitism?
And Islamophobia.
Well, how many of each?
I think 2 anti-Semitism, 1 Islamophobia.
Okay.
What I also want to acknowledge, though, is our notifications don't paint the full picture of the issue that people experience in the health system. I'm out there talking to Jewish communities and to Muslim communities as well, and I know there is a genuine fear for people to engage in essential services, including in health, and we're very aware of that, and we're doing a lot of work to address that.
I understand that, but can I just make the point to you that, we are living through a stage in Australian history where we've just had a religious massacre targeted at a particular group of people. I know that there's discrimination in society. All discrimination is abhorrent. But I'm not asking about any other form of discrimination. I'm asking about anti-Semitism because we've had the Bondi Beach atrocity. We have stories of nurses threatening to kill Jewish patients. We have other things happening which appears to be very targeted at Jewish Australians. So that's why I'm asking about other things.
I understand. I understand.
So I don't understand the fudging.
Yeah.
Senator Bragg, if I can just intervene at this point, I think that that the witness is trying to be very fulsome in their answer. We have had a very lengthy private briefing already that we've participated in with APRA. Understand that your sentiments and your passion for this area.
Thanks,
but I would appreciate if I can listen to the witness's evidence and that he can give an answer that is fulsome.
Thanks, Chair.
And
no problem.
we can all move on from there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Look, so we've got a dedicated team that manages these matters. We currently have 11 that are open at the moment. In terms of the training that you've asked about, so we've undertaken a range of different training activities. But to your question, I'll focus on anti-Semitism. So we initially undertook training through the Melbourne Holocaust Museum. We have since undertaken further training. We have now partnered with the Centre for Jewish Civilisation at Monash University. We are the first non-education organisation to partner with the university on rolling out a bespoke training program. That training program has included the people that are managing these complaints as well as executives, including myself. I've undertaken the training myself as well. We're now looking at how we can roll that across the whole organisation and scheme, and we're also thinking about how we can also think about rolling that training out into the health system more broadly. What can we do to help? And my discussions with the Special Envoy combating anti-Semitism, there is a really keen focus on education within the health sector, and we want to partner and support that.
Well, I'm almost finished here, but if you can provide any of the training materials on notice, we'd be grateful. And can I just ask you, in relation to the 2 nurses who threatened the lives of Jewish people in New South Wales hospitals, can you give an assurance that those people will never work in the medical system again?
I'm not going to preempt the outcome of both a criminal process and a process that's been undertaken in New South Wales at the moment. I think in our previous hearing, Senator Bragg, and again for the record, I'll just share that again. In Australia, we are the national regulator, although there are some differences in New South Wales. New South Wales does have its own Health Complaints Commission that manages the notifications against a health practitioner. They are the ones responsible for this investigation, as well as New South Wales Police as well. And so I can't talk for the outcome of either of those processes, but what I can say is, again, I share your concerns about that matter. That was very serious and very concerning for all of us. And I think I shared last time, the incident occurred, action had been taken and they had been removed from the register within a very short period of time to protect the community.
So just finally, I think that's important. Unfortunately, there appears to have been reports that people who had survived the Bondi massacre in New South Wales had had their names anglicised.
Okay.
Have you heard about this?
I heard something very briefly about that. Yeah.
So apparently a attack victim, Rosilla Scheichberg, had had her name changed to Karen Jones
Okay.
by Liverpool Hospital.
Yeah.
So
Senator, I just share. I heard something very briefly about that, and I'm not sure, and I might even throw to the Chief Medical Officer who might have further views on this. But my understanding is, where there is a major criminal occurrence or crisis, when a patient is taken to hospital, I understand it's reasonably common practice to give a pseudonym to protect particularly from the media. So I think it's more of a protection mechanism to stop media calling hospitals, shopping around looking for victims of major events. And so,
really,
that's my understanding. It is a practice, not like in major activities such as this, or not such as this, but in major incidents. And again, I think the purpose is not about protecting the identity of a person's religion or culture or background, but to protect them from media inquiry, which, you know, I've seen myself how that can play out. I'm not familiar with that process, though. I'm not sure if Mr. Kidd is able to support.
I think this is an issue which we need to raise with New South Wales Health, Senator, but I'm concerned, and what I know about this issue is what I've read in the media, as perhaps you have as well. I think the concern here is about the lack of consent for the individual.
Yeah.
well, can you just take on notice
Absolutely.
any more information
Sure.
you can provide about that? Because I think people, you know, who might have a Star of David around their neck might feel worried about entering a hospital in New South Wales at the moment. So any assurance you can provide, the clinicians, the doctors, the nurses, the patients, I think would be really appreciated at this difficult time.
Of course. No, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Bragg.
Thank you very much.
Senator Nandaraja.
Thank you, Chair.